Today, we're talking about installing a new 120 volt AC outlet, part 2. The first video I uploaded to YouTube yesterday. I'm uploading this one today as a follow-up. So if you remember from the first video, you saw me install this outlet, but you'll note the outlet is a 20 amp outlet. How can I tell that? By looking at the outlet. Well, if you look at the neutral slot, it is a T shape. It is not straight, it is a T shape. That is indicative of a 20 amp receptacle. So why is that a problem here? Well, if you remember from the first video, the circuit breaker that controls this circuit that is providing power to this outlet is only a 15 amp breaker. Code requires, if you are installing a new receptacle on a 15 amp circuit, the receptacle also has to be rated for 15 amps. However, if this was a 20 amp circuit, you could install a 20 amp receptacle or a 15 amp receptacle. But because it is a 15 amp circuit, I'm only allowed to install a 15 amp receptacle.
Wow.
So what does a 20 amp male plug look like? Because they do look different from a standard 15 amp plug that you'll see on your kitchen appliances, your vacuum cleaner, your fan, blow dryer, etc. So this is what a 20 amp male plug looks like. It is a NEMA 5-20, and generally you'll see them on industrial equipment. So if you think about heavy duty shop equipment, maybe like a drill press, something like that, maybe a welder, and you'll note that that neutral is horizontal. It is not vertical. So that's the important difference.
Wow.
Because you would not want to plug in a device that may draw close to 20 amps on a 15 amp circuit. You can see where you could run into a problem there. That's why code requires a 15 amp receptacle on a 15 amp circuit. So how do I determine an outlet's amp rating? Well, if you look at the outlet itself very closely, there's usually a sticker on the outlet. The one I installed in the first video, you'll see it clearly says 20 amps. And it has that T-shaped neutral slot. If you look at the package that the new 15 amp receptacle comes in, you'll see it clearly says 15 amps. And if you look at the picture on the box, the neutral slot is straight. It is not shaped like a T. So let's start out by making sure the power is off. Yes, it is. I shut the breaker off, but I just like to double check or remove the wall plate. So you can see those T slots on the neutrals. And the difference too is they ran 14-2 Romex to feed all these branch circuits, whereas for a 20 amp receptacle, I need 12-2 Romex. So that's also part of the difference. The wire gauge. So on this, you see where it says that yellow label, that's where you would attach wires if you're going to add additional receptacles to this branch circuit. We're not doing that. We'll leave the yellow labels on. So again, green to ground, white to bright, silver colored screw. And the tall slot is your neutral. Remember, the shorter slot is your hot. And so your black wire, black to hot, black to the bronze colored screw. and leave the yellow label wrapped around it because we don't have additional receptacles that we're installing. I also like to wrap some black electrical tape around my screw terminals for safety. Good practice. Gently put it back in the box. So now you get a good view of those neutral slots. You can see how they're straight. They're not T-shaped. So now we're code compliant. Excuse me. And then carefully screw it back into the box. Get it lined up. And then reattach your decorative wall plate. Don't over tighten your screws because you can crack the plastic. Then I'll go down and turn on the power. Now we'll test our outlet. Push the reset button. You see the green light. We have power. Let's double check. So you've got 2 amber lights. That lets us know it's wired correctly and it has power. Done deal.
Woo!
I hope this information helped. Please like, share, subscribe, leave me a message, and thanks for watching.